Hello, everybody. My name is Brian Bourgeon, and welcome to another NASCAR race review. In tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the South Point 400. In my opinion, an electric NASCAR race. A very, very good NASCAR race at Las Vegas. Definitely seems like the next gen car has really brought Las Vegas back to life after 3 years of brutal races at Las Vegas. And which, in my opinion, is great. The next gen car, yes, say what you want about the issues the car has suffered at the road courses and at the short tracks, but you cannot deny the fact that the next gen car has been fantastic at the intermediates, from Las Vegas to Kansas to Darlington to Michigan to Auto Club. The car has been amazing at the intermediate racetracks. And today's race at Las Vegas proves my point. It was a banger. Had lots of different leaders. You had lots of different storylines. You had comers and goers. You had strategy. You had tire wear coming into play. Costing just was like 1 or 2 seconds. But thanks to tire wear, it produces even better racing, which we definitely saw. The racing, like I already mentioned, at Las Vegas was really, really freaking good. It's definitely one of the best races, in my opinion. One of the best races of the year. Top 5, maybe. But yeah, it was a good race. First, though, we'll talk about some following things. We'll talk about the racing. The controversial incident between Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson. The finish, and the results. First, let's start with the racing. Like I already mentioned, the racing was fantastic. Multiple groups, the outside, middle, and bottom worked really well. Almost equal in my opinion. It worked really, really well. You had strategy, tires. You had to go to 2 tires. You had to go 4 tires. By the way, I want to mention, shout out to Goodyear for actually bringing a good tire. They brought a great tire compound to Las Vegas, and look what happened. We had one of the best races of the year. Had insanely good racing. So yeah, applause for Goodyear. They delivered. But yeah, they most certainly delivered. Yeah, the racing was good. Multiple grooves, top, middle, and the bottom. You had lots of comers and goers. For example, drivers in this, around the picture right here, you have Reddick, who led a lot of laps, Cindric, Byron, Blaney, who looked like he had the best car, Logano, Suarez, and lots of other drivers. You had Bubba, Logano. You had lots of different drivers running at the front, running at the top 10 due to either strategy or tire wear or better tires. And that definitely helped the product a bit. It helped a lot. Then again, you have multiple groups, and the best thing, it felt easy to pass. It didn't feel, well, it was hard to pass, but not so hard. It was right in the middle, in my opinion. And right in the middle for passing is perfect, because it's not too easy, but it's not too hard. And that's what we saw today at Las Vegas. With that element of passing like that, it produces phenomenal racing. And the tweet that Parker Klugerman tweeted today, that it feels like right now the current intermediate racing package we have for NASCAR right now with the next gen car is the greatest type of stock car racing that we have right now in the world. It's around words of that tweet. I don't remember exactly how it was, but in my opinion, I agree. The racing we see right now at the intermediates is definitely one of the best that we've seen all year, that we see right now. It's simply amazing due to the comers and goers, the tire wear when the tire's actually working, the different runners up front, either from drivers that are running the back, middle, or at the front. But that produces such exquisitely satisfying racing that, well, Las Vegas showed today. It's definitely a great race with, again, multiple grooves, tire wear, and the good finish that we will talk about later. Now, on to the next part, which is Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson. Now, during stage 2, Larson attempted a 3-wide pass down the backstretch around Harvick and Wallace. Larson sent it into 3, made a big send. He was trying to make Bubba check up, give him the spot. But as Bubba mentioned in his post-race interview after the incident, he doesn't let up. Wallace would hit the outside wall. I don't think Larson got into him. I don't think, but he did end up playing a part in just why Bubba hit the wall. But then after that, Wallace going full throttle, ran into Kyle Larson, taking himself and Larson out. And crucially, playoff driver Christopher Bell. Bell was unfortunately an innocent victim of that incident, thus ending his day. They were trying to repair the car, but due to the damaged vehicle policy, he ran out of time and had to retire the car, which is a shame. Bell is still, in my opinion, a round of four, a Final Four candidate that he could potentially win the championship. I mean, during this whole playoffs, he's been consistent, fast, and he's been able to deliver when it matters most. For example, Charlotte Roble. He needed to win in a must-win situation, and he got it done. But yeah, unfortunately, he was involved in that incident, thus ruining his day. But now here's the big thing I want to talk about. Wallace deserves a suspension for this incident, because you don't hook someone down the front stretch going more than 170 miles per hour at an intermediate racetrack. You don't do that. You don't. At short tracks, you can do that. You can hook somebody. You can wreck them. You're not going as fast. You're going like, 80, 90, 100 miles per hour. And that's not that big of a problem. I'm not saying that's correct to do that. But what Bubba Wallace did today was unacceptable. Again, at that high speeds, considering the safety concerns of the next-gen car, considering what happened to Bowman and to Kurt Busch, who had to retire. Kurt Busch announced this week that he had to retire. He was retiring from NASCAR. Primarily, the cause of that was due to the crash he had at Pocono. Bowman, who has been out of the car since Texas due to that hit in the rear end. And the list goes on. Drivers who have suffered injuries in the next-gen car. Considering what Wallace did, considering the safety concerns of the next-gen car, consider what he did to Larson there, it feels wrong. And matter of fact, it was wrong. Because, like I said, you're going more than 170 miles per hour down the front stretch. The risk of injury is big because, again, concerning the car, you're going at those big speeds. The impacts are way more effective to the driver now. It hurts more. Hopefully, Larson and Bell don't have any serious injuries or injuries of any sort, concussion. I mean, they both okay. We never saw Bell get out of the car, although he was still in the car and still driving after the incident. Larson did get out of the car though under his own power. Wallace as well. But considering the safety concerns and that crash, it rubbed, personally, a lot of people and myself, it rubbed me the wrong way. It was a terrible incident. Bubba should be punished. Either dock him more than 50 driver points, fine him more than $100,000, or you suspend them. But in my opinion, a suspension would be perfect because, again, if NASCAR wants to show that they care about safety of the drivers, suspending Bubba Wallace would show that NASCAR cares about the safety of the drivers. It's the only way because, again, anything in my opinion below is not a good look. It's definitely not. And heck, if the possibility for if Bubba Wallace does end up not getting suspended or fined or penalized in any sort of way, yeah, that would not be pretty. And that would not sit well with anyone. But yeah, more than likely Bubba's going to get a big penalty, a massive one. But yeah, again, a big talking point of the race, but in my opinion, I didn't really want to focus more on that. I wanted to focus more on the good side, the good stuff, the great racing that we had at Las Vegas. Now let's talk about a little bit of the winner, Joey Logano. Joey Logano won the South Point 400 in thrilling fashion, I'd say, with a great battle that he had at the end with Ross Chastain. With 6 laps to go, Chastain was leading, but his last pit stop he made was 31 laps ago compared to Logano, who did it on 18 laps ago. It was a tight battle though. Chastain, Logano, they battled really hard, but they battled fair, which was, in my opinion, the most important part. They raced really well. They had a great battle. Had Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe, who I'll talk about in a little bit once we get to the results. But they had a great battle, those four. It was fun seeing them all battle. Rowdy Busch too. Rowdy has had a rough couple weeks, like a rough year. In fact, so anytime he gets a good finish, is gotta be a good taste from. Shows what Kyle Busch can actually still do. But yeah, Joey Logano won by 0.817 seconds over Ross Chastain in a thrilling battle. Chastain blocked, defended as much as he could with the tires that he had, and credit to him, he did a really good job. But Logano on the fresher tires with around 3 laps to go, passed him around the inside. He sent to turn 1 and 2, side by side during 1 and 2, cleared him. Chastain tried to fight back, but with the tires he had, no shot. Logano would end up pulling away and taking the race win at Las Vegas. Although Chastain and Rowdy Busch, after the race, got a little bit into it with their cars after Chastain was blocking Kyle Busch. Heck, Kyle Busch hit the wall off turn 4 after the last lap when Chastain just blocked them all the way into the wall, causing them some damage. Obviously, Rowdy Busch after the race wasn't happy. Definitely didn't appreciate that. He let him know a couple times, and I feel like, heck, if you're Ross Chastain, knowing that Martinsville is coming up on the NASCAR Plus schedule right now, the last thing you want to do is make enemies. Granted, intentional or not, I doubt it was intentional, but you don't want to make enemies right now, especially if you're going to make Kyle Busch your enemy. Again, to be fair, Martinsville is definitely going to be a race to watch. Maybe not for the racing, but more for just potential storylines. But that's not the talking about right now. Yeah, Logano won the race. A very good win from him. And definitely a win I'd say he deserved. He was definitely one of the fastest cars of the race. And he earned it. In my opinion, he definitely earned it. Now let's go on to the race results. Joey Logano is the winner of the South Point 400. Push inspection complete. He wins it. Ross Chastain second. Kyle Busch third. Had Kyle Busch in stage 1 spun out. He spun out by himself. Fortunately, that's his 26th incident caused by himself in the year. That's quite the stat saw on Twitter from Toby Christie. He had 26 incidents involving himself, which definitely a brutal thing to think about. It's been a rough year for Rowdy, but he came back from that adversity, and even more adversity. He came back from a loose wheel that occurred to him in the last stage during pit stops from the caution flag. He lost, I believe it was a left front tire or right front tire. And well, obviously that's going to be a suspension for the crew chief and the jackman, the tire changer, 4 races, which could maybe move on to next season, I believe, for the Daytona 500, if I'm correct, if the penalties are applied to points races. So, yeah, that'll be it for Ben Bishop for the year. But yeah, amazing stuff from Kyle Busch today. Came back from all those penalties, from the spin to pit road drama, the pit road incident, to come back P3. That's definitely Kyle Busch right there. KFB. Now in 4th place, Chase Briscoe. And what it feels like the year of the underdog for NASCAR. Briscoe is the big underdog. Heck, in this whole playoffs, I mean, I believe I had him out in the round of 12 or round of 16 in my playoff predictions way back. And look at him, round of 8. Perhaps in position to get into the final 4, perhaps, which would be incredible. But Chase Briscoe comes home to finish P4. At the beginning, he was awful. He was running below the top 25. He had no straight line speed at all. He was slow. He was very slow. So it's molasses. But amazingly enough, thanks to multiple adjustments, multiple good strategy, and a bit of luck, Chase Briscoe, in the last stage, was running in the top 10. Heck, even around the top 5. Heck, even leading late. He was leading the race late with around 20 laps to go, battling Justin Haley, amazingly enough. Justin Haley finished 14th. He was leading the race late with 20-ish laps to go, fighting Chase Briscoe for the lead. And during that time, there was a bit of a possibility that maybe, who knows, Haley could have a shot at winning his first career race. Something that no one predicted, or no one could have seen coming. We know Colleague Racing have been doing good, be honest. Allmendinger, Haley, Colleague Racing, they have been doing great. But to see Haley leading for a couple laps during the race is, obviously not. More based off, some pit road calls, all that, 2 tires. But the same lane was pretty cool. And it shows that Colleague Racing could be a force next year. It could be they could be a force to be reckoned. Which I'm definitely looking forward to. We all love underdogs. Then in P5 you have Denny Hamlin, P6 Tyler Reddick, P7 Martin Truex Jr., Eric Jones coming on in the top 10, good result. And AJ Allmendinger. AJ Allmendinger has been really good for Colleague. Multiple top 10 finishes. He's been running well all year when he has gotten the opportunity to drive number 16. It's been great, really. It's been fantastic to see Allmendinger run well. And it shows that also for next year, Allmendinger could be a playoff driver next year. Who knows? I mean, Allmendinger Sunday is good at road courses and at super speedways. And now that he's improving with intermediates, who knows? Allmendinger could be a definite force to be reckoned. Maybe round of 12, round of 8 driver next year. Who knows? Then you got Austin Dillon finishing off the top 10. Now, to be fair, AD came as a surprise to me because I never saw him at all during the race. I saw him a couple times, but never to make me think that, hey, he's a top 10 driver in the race. No, you somehow got a top 10. Noah Gragson, congrats to him, came in 11th. A good result for Noah Gragson, who's going to be in the NASCAR Cup Series next year with Petty GMS. So definitely a good result for him. A very good result that he'd be proud of. Kevin Harvick 12th, William Byron 13th. Byron looked like he had a good car, but despite a couple close calls, all that hurt him a bit. He had a close call in the last stage where his car bottomed out in the middle of turn 1 and 2, almost crashed into Ryan Blaney, who I believe finished around 28th. Yes, 28th. Due to a spin that he had in stage 3, his car got loose, running around the top, middle top of turns 1 and 2. Unfortunately, ending his race, he got loose, hit the wall. I think the toe link of the car broke. And from there, not much I could do. He brought home P28, which is a shame. Then you got 14th Haley, as I already mentioned. A good result from Haley. Again, Colleague Racing looked good. They look very good. Hopefully, maybe they can keep this momentum up heading into next year with some more good results. Starting to show more constant speed. So, it's definitely good. Chris Buescher, now that I'm checking out, finished 15th. Crazy, considering Buescher was like a lap down or was below the top 25 as well all day. Not gonna lie, that's now that I'm checking out the race results. Pretty crazy. Not gonna lie. Pretty crazy. And then you have Suarez coming in 16th, Keselowski coming in 17th, Armirola 18th, McDowell 19th, Cole Custer 20th. Now something I want to mention, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott. What happened to Chase Elliott? He had no pace. He was bad. He was very bad. He was awful. It was definitely shocking, to be fair. I expected Elliott to do way better, but he just had no pace. Kind of surprising. Again, multiple people, in my opinion, including me, had him around top 10, top 20, but just nowhere to be seen. Which, again, is a shame. And some notables to end it off. We have Blaney, who, fortunately, as I mentioned, crashed late in stage 3, ending his race, basically. Austin Cindric, who finished 29th, hit the wall, I believe, early in stage 3. got loose, hit the wall, had to pit, caused him to lose multiple laps. Then you got Christopher Bell in 34th, Carlos in 35th, and Bubba Wallace last. But yeah, overall, in my opinion, South Point 400 was a great race. A success, lots of fun, and a race with a lot of storylines. You had great racing, multiple groups, bit of tempers, comers and goers, tire strategy, tire wear. What more did you want? The race had it all, in my opinion. It was a great race, in my opinion. 10 out of 10. It was a great race, super fun, enjoyable, and definitely a good time. And yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got to say. Next weekend, Homestead, Miami. And heck, if you thought Las Vegas was good, wait till you see Homestead. Homestead should definitely be a fun race. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed tonight's video. Like, subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. And I will see all of you next weekend at Homestead, Miami. Birthday race for me, which will be on Sunday. Take care, everyone. Thank you for watching.